Hi, everybody. This is Janet Wright. I hope this is working. Let me know if you can see and hear me, please. And if the audio is good quality, let me know. Thank you for your patience with my tardiness. The healing started late and ran late. So this live stream is starting late. This is a Q&A live stream where I'm answering people's questions. I am a reader, energy healer, and teacher. I do not read the future. And the theme for today, the suggested, strongly recommended theme, I may answer other types of energy questions, but I'm I'm focused on self-assessment, helping people to understand what that is, um, to go from like what you're feeling and what you think are problems and issues that you have, and figuring out what to do about it as a healer, like what videos of mine to watch, or how to heal yourself, how to begin to solve your issues and address your symptoms. So self-assessment as a healer, basically like being a very empowered healer, so you can work on yourself very dynamically and in a very relevant way. So cool stuff. It's stuff that people kind of learn over time just by watching all my videos and getting my healings and stuff. But hopefully we can fast track that for people by talking about it explicitly in this live stream. That's the hope. So I'm gonna fix my screen for a second here so I can see everything I need to see at one time. And I see that people have mostly put their question already. One question per person, please, only. And yeah, that's that. Oh, and please don't answer other people's questions. That's for me to do. And please don't directly address other people on the live chat. I know that, some live streams people do are kind of like this anarchy and everyone's just playing games among themselves, but I like to have things a little more like, I don't know, centered, I guess. Okay, cool. So, first question I have is, when coworkers whack me, it can be pretty obvious since I can see them physically and can feel the aggression, invasiveness, inner emptiness with a look. Clairvoyance needs work for astral matters. Okay, that's not a question, but I'm glad that you know who's whacking you. That's nice. Yeah, so I'm not sure what you want me to do with that. You don't really need to know who whacked you, who's throwing energy at you to address it, because you can imagine somebody just on a like anonymously, like random woman that you can't quite see, or random person that you can't quite see, but just have your intention be, this is the person that's been whacking me all morning, and then just do that conflict resolution video, knowing that that's the person. Well, this person, because your angels help you adjust the healing flowers for the person, so knowing who is whacking you is not necessary. So that video, which but other people might not know, is Janet Wright Resolve. You would search Janet Wright Resolve conflict boundary issues, and that would help you to help these people to be more centered so that they can leave you alone. So you could post, oh, you already did post another one. Okay, later. Okay, so I'll get to that later. Someone says, hi, Janet. I noticed that although my sister and I say we will help each other with babysitting, we never follow through. My guess is because we have guilt and shame blocking us. Actions is next comment. I could use conflict resolution, also deep thought for repression. What do you think? You know, that's something that's funny that I've learned. I'm a very literal person. So like if somebody says something to me, I have to kind of remind myself, oh, they don't really mean it, you know, sometimes because like people will say, oh, I'll call you, you know, but they don't really mean it. Like a lot of times it's just they're saying that because it's the polite thing to say. It's like sort of like a knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, I'll call you, we should get together, you know. So you can look at on a soul level, is that person really like, you know, making plans? Is that person really even likely to make plans? You know, like we have this couple and you know, we've gotten together with them a handful of times over the years, but you know, there was this get together that we were going to have, and they needed to cancel for, you know, real reasons. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll you know, we'll let you know in a couple days, and then we can reschedule." And I just knew there's no way it's going to happen. So part of why that happens is because the vibration of whatever get together or whatever commitment just isn't really working for that person. But consciously, they're not on the same page with that. So they think, oh, of course, I'm going to call them. I wanted to get together with them and I'm going to get together with them. But if you look at that person as a whole, because remember what I mentioned in the healing today is the, you know, someone may only be conscious of like say 20% of themselves as a spirit as a whole. And so you look at them as a whole and you think, okay, well, like, okay, you and your sister. So you look at you guys like say a blob for you, a blob for your sister as a whole, not just what you consciously think, right? And like this is the vibration of her babysitting for you. And does that work for you? No, it doesn't really. This is the vibration of of you babysitting for her. Does that work for her? Not really. So there's some kind of way in which, on a soul level, you guys are like, yeah, not really. You know, like I don't know why. You know, so then you could, you know, try to intuit that more in depth. But that's the idea: is that sometimes people say stuff they don't really want to do, and so they never end up doing it. And so that's that whole disconnect of like, why does this person, you know, say they're going to call me and they never call me? Well, it's because they don't really want to call you. You know, but they robotically say what they're expected to say or what they think they should say. So anyway, that's the idea. I don't think it's guilt and shame blocking you guys. I think how would you work on it? You know, it could be okay. So how you would self-assess, right? Because this is about self-assessment, not just having Janet read everything, right? I mean, it's both, you know. But so if you had a practice where you just kind of center yourself, you have a journal, you know, just some kind of book that you know, write stuff in. It doesn't have to be some meditation journal that you buy and you pay extra money for at all, you know, but you just sometimes if you write out something and then you just meditate and you look at it again, or you have a cup of tea and you look at it again and you come back to it tomorrow, you know, and just say, angels, please help me with this. It just kind of comes to you, you know, it just kind of helps your intuition a little bit, particularly if you're meditating or stretching and doing something centering. Um, so I think, I mean, when I look at, you know, if I look at the blob for you and a blob for her and why the vibrations of you guys helping each other isn't really working, if you guys cleared your baggage about receiving, being able to receive help, um, there's something that you guys each have like heart chakra blocks about receiving, that it's hard for you to receive on that deep level of like, because it would be such a relief, obviously, to have someone take care of your kids for like even 2 hours, you know? I mean, God, if someone could take care of all my pets for 3 hours, I'd, you know. But that's the thing, you know, can you receive on that level? You know, so I would say that's something that you could work on with yourself, maybe like flower healing for receiving. I don't know that we have a flower healing video already for receiving, but you could do the one enthusiasm flower healing, because that video works the heart chakra. Enthusiasm for the heart chakra. Heart chakra is also receiving. So you could just add that theme to that video. So if you search Janet Wright, enthusiasm flower healing, and then you add in receiving theme. The receiving theme. And then, you know, it's possible that once you clear, because you and your sister are pretty close, particularly when it comes to this kind of issue. So it's possible if you clear your baggage, she'll kind of subconsciously copy you, you know, by working with her angels in her sleep about it. Otherwise, you might have to do flower healing for her a little bit over time, but I think just work on yourself first, and that might be enough. So, now another self-assessment tool, because you might be like, okay, well, but Janet, you did that whole thing where heart chakra is enthusiasm, but it's also receiving and blah, 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 and I don't know all that, you know? I don't know that receiving, I do have a 2-page chakra handout, which I think is useful for a lot of that reasoning out of things. Although I don't know if one of the 4th chakra abilities that I list on that is receiving, but you could add that to it. Or just have notes, you know, and just notes about the 4th chakra, you know, and put them all on one page, you know. But I do have a free, if some of you haven't gotten it yet, or you could just consult it if you have gotten it. But it's a 2-page handout that I can email to people as an attachment, an email attachment, and it just lists each chakra, each of the major 7 chakras, and how each one helps. But yeah, so how you would do it self-assessment wise is you just kind of make a, you know, write in your journal, meditate, think about it, you know, what are we missing, what are we blocked in that makes us not be able to do this. And intuitively, you know, I would say it's receiving, and then, you know, so I hope that helps. Okay, so someone says good morning and gives me so many beautiful emojis. That's adorable. Thank you. Hi, and she says her name so that I know for sure what her name is, because her YouTube name doesn't show that. So thank you for that. Can you look at my energy and let me know what I'm not seeing or hearing from my angels, please? And thank you for being here for us. Okay, yes, I can. But also, this live stream is about self-assessment. So the question is you know, like, you could ask a different question, since this one doesn't really count. You could say, like, you know, if I have time to get to it, I would. Like, what are your symptoms, and do you know how to work on those? Because that's self-assessment, is you think about the issues you have, and then you figure out, you know, so what's happening with my energy system, and how do I heal that? But if I just ask your angels, in case I can't get to your question, your angels say about self-assessment. They're talking about your emotions, that maybe you just work your emotions more. Also, it'll help you get into your 2nd chakra more. 2nd chakra is emotions, emotions, sexuality, sensuality. So the senses, enjoying your senses, but having positive, stable, strong emotion. And just sometimes there's a lot of subconscious emotional baggage to clear out so that you can be in your 2nd more. Because you have been in 7 through 3 a lot lately, so you've been present in physical body 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 a lot lately, but not 2 lately. So you could journal around, you know, your emotions, and don't obsess too much about it, but just think, okay, are there any emotions that you're burying, and you can kind of breathe them out, you know. You could wash out the back of your 2nd layer. You know, just think maybe you have other people's anger, other people's sadness stored away in your 2nd layer. So you can just kind of clear that out. So they're just saying, like, emotional house cleaning. There are videos that can help you with that. You can search Janet Wright positive emotion. I think that'll pull up something that's nice. Or Janet Wright fun emotions, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, but that's the thing they would like you to work on is emotional clearing, just so you can be more present in your second chakra. All right. Someone says, I want to ask a question about how I can find and make better and more authentic, sustainable friendships, but is that what I need to focus on right now? Yeah, I mean, your angels, I mean, what I would say is, okay, so if this is about self-assessment, right? So you're thinking of yourself, you're becoming your own reader more and more. I mean, obviously you can still participate in Q&As, you can still get healings, but it's sort of ideal if you have the benefit of, my services, but then you also are becoming more and more of a big deal yourself, because then it's like the best of all worlds, So along those lines of becoming more your own reader like that, you want better, more sustainable friendships, but is that what you need to focus on right now? So I guess, you could kind of imagine, however, some kind of a system like, okay, well, here's the top tier issues I should be working on. And here's the secondary tier issues that are fun and still good to work on, not a waste of time. And then bottom here are the waste of time ones that I should not be distracted with. Okay. And then just kind of, you can sketch it out in your journal and just put your, think of all the things that you might want to work on and just use your intuition, center yourself first, do maybe a tricolor soak or a gold sandstorm throughout your aura and your chakras a little bit first. The angels can give me a quick healing, and then just put everything on the top tier or the secondary tier or the time wasting tier, and just figure out where everything is for you. So that's what I would suggest. As far as if you were to work on friendships, I think what your angels say is there are some top tier issues that you are not working on, and that the secondary issues will be helped by you working on your top tier issues. So, but I'm not going to tell you what your top tier issues are. Just like write out, make a list of anything that you think you could work on, and then just go ahead and put them in that, rank them yourself with your own intuition, because you're pretty present these days, so you should be able to do that. Okay. So have fun with that. You're welcome. Thank you again for these Q&A sessions. You are welcome. Someone says, hi, Janet. Thank you so much for the healing. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. My question is this. I've been struggling with purpose, direction, and inspiration. What would I focus on healing to remedy that? Okay, great. So this is a good self-assessment issue, right? That's what this Q&A is about. So, so you have the symptoms, right? Is you have not enough a sense of purpose, not enough sense of direction, and not enough inspiration, right? So, you could start with data, what like, okay, what each chakra does. If you don't, I have that 2-page handout, right? And you just sometimes seeing it written out might jog your memory, but like, okay, purpose, direction, inspiration, like what parts of your energy system might that be, right? Because well, first there's just general functioning. Does your energy system have general functioning? Because some people, they haven't healed themselves in a long time. They haven't gotten healings from me in a long time. So they may need to work on their general functioning before they expect some deep sense of purpose and some big picture clarity. You got to get the basics. Like this one client, her angels gave me this really nice metaphor to tell her, which thankfully she was open to. She didn't be like, she wasn't thinking I was too super obnoxious, but she had these, in her case, she had these questions about, purpose and all that. But her angel said it was like half her roof was missing, and like part of her house was on fire. So she had rain coming through the roof, and then this other part was on fire, and she was thinking about like putting art on the wall, and it was like, what? The first thing is you should fix the roof, and then you should put out that terrible fire, or maybe put out the terrible fire and then fix the roof. And then, maybe then you can, fix your plumbing and then, get those paintings up, so there's like an order of things, and so and if this is new for you, you might want to, I mean, obviously the person who asked this, well, not obviously, but the person who asked this question, she doesn't need this level of rudimentary information, but I'm trying to make it relevant for everyone. So the basics of like getting the roof fixed in your house and putting the fire out in your house, that would be like grounding and aura repair and chakra repair, the repair kind of stuff. Having a wide grounding, having a repaired aura, having repaired chakras. And that's stuff that we do towards the start of any of our group healings that I do. So anyone can, just start, do one of those big long group healing videos. Just look in the comment section for the timestamp links and healing summary and just go to where the healing starts. And I mean, you can listen to the intro too if you want. But anyway, so you want to do basic maintenance first, like get the roof on your house proper and get the house to not be on fire before you work on the paintings on the wall. So a sense of purpose, a sense of inspiration, that's more the paintings on the wall, right? So the question is, is there some sort of fundamental stuff that that you've missed, or should you do like fine tuning of a certain chakra to get more of what you seek, more purpose, more direction, more inspiration? So that's the question is, just go through the basic, like is the house on fire kind of stuff first. So is your aura repaired? Yes. Do you have significant Wei Qi aura damage? Because that would be also an aura issue, right? Just in the healing today, we were working with all 17 of the auras, so the regular 2 auras, astral body and physical body aura, but then also the 15 Wei Qi auras, which help with energy safety, right? So even just there, I would say that this person that's posting has some significant Wei Qi damage, Wei Qi aura damage, that would be getting in the way of basic, energy safety and optimal functioning. So even just as we're checking the basics, that there's some significant issues with the Wei Qi aura repair that I think could be best taken care of. Grounding, check, that's pretty good. Chakra damage, no, chakras are not damaged, but you just did get that healing with Archangel Ariel repairing all the chakras. How cool is that? Creative ring damage, because creative rings generate this really inspiring gold light that then comes down to the 7th and the other chakras. So I would say there is creative ring damage. So Wei Qi aura damage, creative ring damage. But again, it's like in this self-assessment thing, you're just looking at the most foundational stuff first, right? Because you want the roof on the house. You want the house not to be on fire before you deal with the paintings on the wall, right? So that's how you just use your intuition. Like for people, doing this as a self-assessment, maybe have a checklist, of all these things so that to aid your intuition, because maybe it helps you if you see it written out, something will kind of jump out at you, and so you can have a list of like, aura wide and unblocked, aura repaired, all 17 auras repaired enough, because your Wei Qi auras, they don't have to be perfect, but there's sort of a certain level of repair that, if you're not at that, it's holding you back. It's making you significantly less safe than you should be. On your list could be creative rings, repaired. And because we learned too that would have been the October 2020 triplet set. We did really detailed repair work on the undersides of the creative rings, and that was some big deal stuff. And creative rings help strengthen all the chakras, but especially the 7th chakra. And 7th chakra is, and that would say on the chakra handout, if you guys want the chakra handout, this person wouldn't need it, but 7th chakra, well, she might need it. I mean, because sometimes seeing it written out, it just kind of clicks more with your logic. But Seventh chakra has to do with a sense of purpose, a sense of direction and inspiration, and creative rings, of course. So working the underside of the creative rings could absolutely be on this person's list, to-do list. Because you can there's always more repair you could do to the undersides of the creative rings. And you could use those, the videos of, from the October 2020 triplet set, to do that. You could even just go to the comment section and find the exact parts where we do that. On that list would be, chakras repaired, just intuitively check, but this person, that's fine. Chakras are repaired. Chakras unblocked, that could be an intuitive thing, and then if you get an intuitive ping that your chakras are not enough unblocked, you can just kind of, even just write out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then astral and physical, and just like, are they unblocked enough? And just unlock them if they're not. Like an easy way, that sticky gold wax, Janet Wright, sticky gold wax, 7 chakras. That's an easy video to unblock chakras with. Just use this gold wax that adheres to the blocks and then just peel off the gold wax and hand it to your angels. It's fun. So anyway, that's the idea, is you take the symptoms, which is a lack of purpose, direction, inspiration, and then you just double check though, is the roof on right, is the house on fire, check, go with the basics first, see, okay, and that would tell her, oh yeah, my Weichi auras need more repair, my creative rings need more repair, and that kind of pings because, well, just because it's on the general checklist too, is creative rings need to be repaired, just like chakras need to be repaired. So I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna move on, but I think that's hopefully makes enough sense to that person. Okay, thank you for your question. Someone says, my good friend introduced me to a guy. I wonder what my angels are suggesting. My initials are HK and his name is J, the letter J. It's been a while since I dated and would like to get any advice, angel messages. Okay, so this is about self-assessment, right? So part of, doing this empowered thing as a healer is you want to get data yourself, right? So what's your system for ask your angels what you should do about a person? You could make it as simple as possible so that, because, sometimes it's like, maybe people aren't that good yet at hearing their angels and they're asking their angels this like really complicated 10-part question about, well, what should I do? And what do you think about this? And it might not be, you might be asking a question that's a little too complicated. So maybe you could ask your angels, is J worth my time? Yes, no, right? Is J worth dating? Would J be good for me to date? Yes, no. And just have like a big yes section on your screen and a big no section on your screen. And just imagine one of your angels and have that angel point to the yes, or light up the yes sign, or yes, light up the no sign, or something easy, obvious like that, or one game that I like playing with the angels is you put something on the table and then they'll knock it off the table if they don't want you to deal with it. So you have a table, you imagine your angels, and you're like, okay guys, on this object, this letter J represents this guy J, right? And so if he's worth my time to date, keep him on the table. And if he's not worth my time to date, knock him off the table, and just see if they knock him off the table or not. Make it simple, make it fun, but you want to practice, and practice also with simple things too. Like, should I take a nap? I'm going to put the word nap on my table and see if my angels knock it off or they leave it on. Practice with things that aren't quite as important to you. So then you get a good confidence level with the process. But it doesn't have to be exactly that way, or the yes, no things, or what. Just make up something that's fun that seems to work for you. And of course, try to center yourself before you do that, because that'll make your perception more accurate. So I hope that makes sense. Someone says, hey, Janet, I'm trying to be better at self-assessment. Well, you came to the right place. That's what this live stream is about. Especially when I get super triggered, yes. Okay, when that happens, I can't seem to think straight, yes, which is true for everyone. What can I do in the moment to calm down and stay on track? Well, it's like that whole house on fire metaphor. You got to put out the fire. Check your basics, grounding, aura repair, chakras unblocking, go redo things, because you could be triggered, meaning you could have an energy block or 2 or 3 or 4 in the front that are stuck, and then maybe people are courting those energy blocks so they're not clearing. So I guess if that's the most annoying thing, maybe you could just imagine the blocks and melt the blocks and melt the cords and then melt the blocks. And we did do that in today's healing. So if someone needs a little walkthrough of that, you could look in the comment section where the healing summary is itemized, and then you'll find an exact timestamp link to that process. But if you're that triggered, and I'm looking at you because you're used to working your energy and being very present, lately you're in 7 through 2 a lot. 7 through 1, not the last few days, but you do get into, like, now you're in 7 through 1 because you got the healing today. But 7 through 2 is pretty simple for you these days. So being present in physical body chakra 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is pretty simple for you because you've worked a lot over time. So if you're that triggered that you can't think straight, it's not just triggered energy for you, because you're so present that if your aura was whole and your grounding was fine, wide and flowing and working, you could be triggered and just be like, I'm triggered, and clear it. So if you're triggered and you can't think straight, you, at the point where you're at, you have aura damage and your grounding is narrow, and it's multiple things going on. Like, so your house is on fire, your roof is missing, something bigger, for you to literally not be able to focus properly. It's the bigger stuff. And that's true for a lot of people, really, I guess. I mean, when you think about it. So yeah, if it's a big symptom, like I can't even think straight, think of big foundational things might be wrong and just double check them all. Is my aura whole? Is my grounding wide and flowing? Are my chakras repaired? Are my creative rings repaired? Just basics. Now, someone might be like, okay, Janet, but I'm a newbie and that all sounds really complicated. I do have a playlist that's called When You're Messed Up or something like that. It's a playlist that has walkthroughs of that type of thing, the basics, the aura repair, the chakra repair, the creative ring repair, that kind of stuff. So you could just do that playlist, the messed up playlist, I think it is. I'll link it below, because playlists you have to go to my playlist tab to find them. So I will link it below later. But that could be interesting for you to peruse my playlist tab on my YouTube channel, because there's so many different playlists. You might, just surprise yourself. Like, when you find a playlist, you might be like, oh my gosh, I so need that one. So, but yeah, there's a messed up playlist, which could be good for people. So I hope that makes sense. So what can you do in the moment to calm down, stay on track? Repair your aura. Get wide grounding, redo your wide grounding, do a tricolor, just pull up some earth energy, maybe that could be the first step. Pull up earth energy and then repair your aura, and then, just breathe, and maybe do a gold sandstorm, just melt away the stuff in the front. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, someone says, I have so much I want to move forward on. Depression, slow healing from surgery, chemo, cancer, along with blocks from work, with work. How do I know which tools to use? Do I have too many expectations for myself? You used to, but I think you're better with that now. You did. Like maybe 6 months ago, you did. Now, and like expectations for other people, expectations are like a specific thing that they're like really hard and rigid, and you just, maybe you don't think they are, but when you have them, it's just like you can't grip, you can't get a grip on the way things are, because you have so much energy in the way you feel it should be, like the way you should be or someone else should be acting, and so it just makes things harder than they should be. But no, you, so, okay, so do I have too many expectations for myself? You know, am I stuck on my own expectations, right? So if that's the question, right, how would you self-assess on that? Um, you could make, you know, write in your journal, draw a blob that represents yourself, like a big circle or a little stick figure that represents yourself, and then draw a little bubble that represents your expectations that you have, and just think, okay, are these a problem now? And then you're like, I don't think so, really. You know, so you just kind of use your intuition, you know, and then it's too, maybe that would be good to compare, you know, a year ago, were my expectations a problem for me? And then you kind of imagine it like turns into a big rock that's like clobbering you. And then you're like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Last year, that my expectations were a really big problem for me. You know, so I think that's good for everybody in self-assessment to kind of have a sense of the progress that you've been making, because sometimes, you know, that's more encouraging to realize, like, oh yeah, you know, I have these issues, but before I had even bigger issues, so that's kind of cool. You know. So yeah, so that's a question that you can self-assess. Do I have, but I already said my assessment of it with you, which is no, I don't think expectations are your issue. So I want to move forward on having less depression, um, faster healing from surgery, which is kind of a medical thing. So sometimes energy work, you know, can't do that. Um, I mean, GVCV meridian, those are body meridians, and those things help the body heal. Healing your physical bones, healing your physical muscles. That's kind of nice to help your body heal. Healing your organs. You can do energy healing on any organ system you want. Um, so I guess as a self-assessment question, you could say, well, would any level of physical body healing help me right now? Right? Because there's like help and then there's really help, right? So you can just sort of have sections in your journal for what would help and what would really help, right? And if you have limited time and energy, you know, then you focus on the what would really help, right? So you just have these two buckets on your paper and you think, okay, well, physical body healing, you know, right now, would that help or would it really help? You know, and if it kind of blinks for you really help, well, then that's interesting to know. And you just did a little self-assessment there. So then you think, okay, well, what kind of physical body healing? Because you could heal your bones. Would that really help? And see if it's just, it would help, but not really help. And then healing your organ systems, you know, see which blinks for you, see which kind of gut feeling you have about healing your organ systems. You know, you can even heal your nerves, like your nervous system. Any system, you know, medical system that you know of, you can, you know, ground it, bring up red earth energy, soak it, you know, use gold light. So the possibilities are literally endless. So that would be a thing. You'd be like, would physical body healing help or really help? And then figure out which form of physical body healing would, you know, help the most. And I think when you have a lot of issues, it can get overwhelming like that. Like, well, you know, I have these, you know, three giant things I want to work on: depression, my body healing faster, and, you know, my work doesn't seem to be as easy for me as I want it to be. You know, I'm not as productive. So I have productivity work issues, depression issues, and physical body healing issues. I think maybe if you prioritize those a little bit, like just kind of think, well, for today, what's my top priority in my healing and what's my secondary priority, maybe that could help make it less overwhelming each day. So you have like these issues and you don't forget about the issues, maybe write about my issues, but then maybe today you don't work on the depression. Maybe you work on productivity. Maybe today you work on, the body stuff today. And just, for the meditation time that you have. So I would say that's how you self-assess with that stuff. You just kind of get your gut instinct on each thing. You are experienced enough to be able to take it that way and go with it. Because I think too, that's part of your issue is like sort of trusting your instincts and kind of going and, that comfort zone kind of thing of like expanding your comfort zone and creating as you go of like as a healer, and using your intuition more and using your, so I hope that makes sense. I think it does, but you can let me know. All right. Thank you for your question so much. For other people that don't know, this person definitely knows, but emotions, that's second chakra. And if you search Janet Wright emotions, Janet Wright fun emotions, Janet Wright second chakra, you'd find a lot of things. There's that get present in second and first chakra video, which would also help with emotions because it's second chakra. So, but this person knows them. But anyway, yeah, so you could just generate emotions and find a ton of choices. Because depression, you could search generate depression, but I probably didn't do a video that explicitly put the word depression in the title. A lot of times it's those qualities like, emotion, that would be in the title versus sadness maybe. Although there is this one nice video, deep thought, anger, sadness. So if you search Janet Wright, deep thought, anger, sadness. But for that person, again, just think of like what would help, what would really help, and try to intuit what would really help because, your time and energy is limited and you want to just get the ones that are really like home runs for that day. Each day it'll be different. It could be different. All right. If that comment was yelling, I'm sorry again. And am I yelling it telepathically because I'm emotionally charged while writing? No, I think it's just a throat chakra imbalance that when people, if your throat chakra is too blocked, it just, it loses its subtlety. So you start yelling like some old man, get off my lawn! Except you didn't mean to. So yeah, it's just a throat chakra thing. But I haven't heard you yelling in this live stream, so I don't think, I think you fixed it already. Someone took away their message. Somebody says, we can see and hear you. Audio is good. Oh, good, good, good. You're golden, Janet. We hear you. Alrighty. Someone says, how can I get my sugar cravings under control? I suspect it is driving inflammation. Okay, so since the theme of this Q&A is self-assessment, right? So how do you figure out your issues, right? So say your problem is, well, it sounds like you have two problems, inflammation and sugar cravings, right? And so how do you work on them? And yeah, I think again, check the foundational things first. Like, if you have a house, do you have a roof on the house? Is your house on fire? So the basic, huge fundamental things first would be aura damage, chakra damage, is your grounding wide and flowing, that kind of thing, right? because it could be that when you have the worst sugar cravings, you're missing half the back of your aura and some of your chakras are damaged. So when that happens, you're not so present. And so it's easy for, invasive beings and stuff to block you up. And then you're just like, God knows what you're going to do. You might spend an hour and a half on Twitter or something. Not that I've ever done that. But anyway, so yeah, it's an interesting question though, just on the face of it. I mean, because there's so much. It's funny. Because, like, I mean, you could just stop eating sugar, period. I mean, do what you can to stop eating sugar. Because sometimes it's very self perpetuating. So if you eat sugar, then you want more sugar. It's an addictive sort of a thing. So um, you could kind of look at that. What sugars are you eating? What carbs are you eating? And just try to be a lot more mindful of that. Inflammation can be from other things as well. So you could have an issue with sugar, but you could also have an issue, say, with wheat or with corn or something in addition. But sugar can be like that as well, for sure. So cravings in general, I do have a playlist. Um, Compulsive behaviors should be in the title of that playlist. So if you search Janet Wright compulsive behaviors, you'll probably find it. Let me. I don't think I want to. Yeah, I don't think I have time to look it up myself. But yeah, if you search Janet Wright negative behaviors or Janet Wright compulsive behaviors, I did a whole playlist on it. I did a whole triplet set on it a while back. So there should be, like, for example, there should be a deep thought video that'll walk you through clearing blocks in your conscious and subconscious mind and in the blending surfaces between your eternal wisdom and your conscious mind and your subconscious mind that contribute to the eating. But also, I would say you gotta, half of your roof is missing because you need aura repair. Your chakras are repaired though, but that's something that you could, intuitively check on a checklist. Like be like, okay, how about my chakras? Are they repaired right now? Yes. Like just get used to practicing that kind of thing, so that and because a lot of people are like, well, I'm not that intuitive, Janet. That's you. That's not me. But that's how you start. Is you just kind of go with it. You kind of get this instinct about it, like. And maybe writing it keeps you in a more rational, level-headed space where you can be like, does my aura need repair? Well, have you done it lately? And just check. Because even if you did it this morning, maybe someone ripped a hole in it, 5 minutes ago. So, always start with the basics. So yeah, I would say you could do the deep thought for negative behaviors, something like that. Janet Wright, deep thought, negative behaviors, unwanted behaviors. I forget what I called it. Compulsive behaviors. Maybe something like that. It's one of my deep thought videos. But like I said, you need aura repair and a wider grounding first. But you can do both of those things. But good question. It's good that you're looking at that stuff because that stuff affects so much. Some people are extremely sugar sensitive. Like, you can get like a gout attack and be so handicapped by sugar intake that, I mean, if you're sensitive like that, you can have a gout attack and not even be able to walk. So yeah, sugar can affect people in a big, big way. But people are different. You know, some people have more of an issue with than others. Someone says, I have people PTSD and am new to your clearings. Should I just ask my angels to keep my energy buffers up while I'm in public and around people, or will my daily clearings be enough? Well, you can always ask your angels for help, and your angels are always trying to help you. So asking for help, what that typically, the difference that makes is that you're more open to receiving it. Because sometimes, like say, you know, you might be in public and then you get nervous and you get triggered, and that forms a little like a stress wall around you, and you're blocking some of your angels' help. So even when you're around people in public, you can say, I'm going to let my angels help. I am letting my angels help and guide me. I am letting my angels help and guide me, you know, just to like ease yourself out of blocking your angels. Gold energy aura buffer zones, which is what you're talking about, I think. For other people, that's a video. If you search Janet Wright gold energy buffer zones, you'll find it. Right, gold energy aura buffer zones. It's a nice 18-minute video. It teaches aura repair, and it also teaches to make these big gold healing energy force fields that are just attached to the edge of your aura. So you don't have to keep those up. They're attached already to the edge of your aura when you create them. So you can just recreate them brand new, you know, but then they're just there. So it just takes you 1 second to give yourself a new pair of them, and then they're there. So that doesn't take effort. I mean, the thing is with PTSD or just with people that maybe wouldn't label what they have as PTSD, it's just baggage, right? That gets triggered in certain situations. So the idea is to proactively clear your baggage so that each time you're in this triggering situation, it's less and less intense, less and less awful for you, less triggering, right? There's less energy blocks to trigger if you proactively clear them more and more over time, right? So the idea would be to keep working on that, to keep working on, you know, the people baggage, we could say, or being out in public baggage, right? So you just make a note in your journal, clear being out in public baggage, right? And then there are a lot of different techniques you could do to clear baggage. So you just kind of bounce around, do which ones are fun for you. Like different options. I mean, there's so many. Like deep thought healing technique is an option to clear baggage because it clears, you know, blocks in your subconscious and your conscious mind and stuff. So that's an option. So you can have an options list, you know, deep thought healing, stacking and clearing is an interesting one where you just line up the energy blocks in rows or piles or something. You just, so rather than know where they are in your system, you just make, you know, piles or make rows and just clear them that way out in front of you. So you would just put your people baggage that you're ready to clear out in front of you and just clear it with gold light or blow it up. I just keep doing that. Blanket exercise is another option that people like. You just put a big blanket out in front of you, dump it on the blanket and melt it away. Ask your angels to help. So in the moment when you are around people, I would just say, you know, maybe a tricolor soak would be nice, you know, like if you, like say if you're in the car right before you go in the store, you know, just do a tricolor soak, you know, reground, red grounding, soak red, earth energy, you know, reground orange, soak in orange earth energy, reground yellow earth energy, soak in yellow earth energy, and leave up one of the colors, leave up one of the earth energy soak colors, and just leave it up, you know, while you're in the store. So then you have all this earth energy around you, extra earth energy, like you're in a forest. That could be nice. So that video, for those that don't know, you find it by searching Janet Wright tricolor soak. And that's a 5-minute little video. So yeah, so the idea is proactive clearings. You know, just keep clearing, you know, because you can't clear it all in one day, even if it, you know, you're like, I'm going to meditate today and fix it. You know, it's just one of those things is just deeper stuff. It's most likely past life issues as well as this life, even though in this life you're like, oh no, it didn't happen until when I was 20, this happened, and then now I have it. But chances are whatever happened it's likely that whatever happened at 20 also triggered past life stuff too. And so now you have it all triggered, to get it as big as PTSD, it's probably this life and past life baggage. So, just take your time with it. Another interesting one to clear is timeline healing. So you could find my timeline healing videos, Janet Wright timeline healing. That's just interesting because when you make your piles, you just sort of put them on a timeline. So you can see, early in the timeline means past life baggage, and then more current on the timeline means, earlier in this life and recent in this life. So you can kind of get a sense of the passage of time a little bit, which might make your work a little more interesting. So you look at, okay, what's the people baggage that I should clear today? And then, the piles are over here, so that's past life baggage. So that's kind of interesting. It clears the same way, but it's just kind of fun. So I hope that makes sense. Someone says, hi, Janet. My angel advice on what to work on in regards to this Q&A topic. Okay, so you mean how to get better at self-assessment. What do your angels say as far as... That's kind of funny because the whole idea of self-assessment is, part of it is that you would, listen to your intuition better and learn to listen to your intuition better and learn to hear your angels better. But you're like, well, what do my angels say about this? So that's a funny thing. Funny, ironic, maybe. So let's see. When I look at you as a reader, just myself, which I think your angels are like, give me a thumbs up. So I see that there are some things that you're already very good at with your self-assessment. Like, when your grounding's blocked, you get cranky. When, people cord you too much, you overgive. Like certain things. You know what to do when you've dealt with your sleep issues, so things to check for with your sleep issues. But there's this other stuff that you could work on that you've sort of decided, well, that's the way I am. And so you haven't really considered working on it. Certain aspects of yourself where you're just like, well, that's the way I am. So I think that's what they're lighting up for me, that there's parts of you that you could change that maybe you haven't considered working on yet. You just sort of figure, well, that's not possible even, and they're saying that some of that stuff that you're assuming isn't possible and that's just the way you are is possible to work on. So you could kind of journal and think about that. What do you want to change that you haven't worked on about yourself? So I hope that makes sense. I know that's a little vague, but that's what those kind of things are that way, though. It's like there's something that you've assumed is not possible but is, and then you're like, well, what's that? But maybe just think about some of your weaknesses and what are you working on of your weaknesses and what are you not working on that you just assumed you couldn't change. So I hope that makes sense. We'll see. Obviously, that's something you have to, explore with journaling over time. It's not going to hit you right now, maybe. Someone says, hey, Janet, how do I work on myself so that I can heal to move forward in my creative career right now? Thank you. Okay, so if this Q&A is about self-assessment, right? Self-assessment means you look at an issue or a symptom that you have, you want to work on, and you figure out a healing plan. Like, what would you do to work on that, right? So if you want to move forward on your creative career, and you're thinking like, well, how do I do that, right? So there are there's the get the roof on the house right, get the house to not be on fire kind of things, like aura repair, chakra repair, grounding, widen flowing, um, creative ring repair, and so you can kind of write that out if that helps your intuition and see, well, okay, is my aura repaired enough? What about my Wei Chi auras? Are they repaired enough? What about my grounding? Is that wide and flowing enough, often enough? What about my chakras? Are they repaired enough? Usually. And just see, if you get any intuitive pings on those, then you can work on those things. That's the kind of thing we do in a lot of the live streams all the time, the healing live streams. So you could easily find a little section to work on that stuff. But then there's moving forward, making progress, like today, the theme was positive change, having a breakthrough level of positive change, the theme in today's healing. And so we did a lot of foundational work on the aura and the chakras and everything. But then there's the spiritual path, your spiritual path, the road that you're meant to walk forward on, to progress, to learn and experience. It represents what you're meant to learn and experience in this life. And so you can kind of get a sense of that and get a sense of like, well, am I making, like, say this is, you can even have like a sub theme for your spiritual path and be like, okay, well, I'm just looking on a spiritual path for my creative career. So if I'm moving forward on my creative career, then I would be moving forward on this road I'm looking at, and just see what's going on this road. Are you moving forward on your creative path? And, maybe you are, but then there's these delays and you move forward again, then there's a huge delay. And then, like one step forward, three steps back, one step forward, three steps back. So you look at this road and be like, well, why is that? And just kind of use your intuition, and just gold light does a lot, so even if you don't understand why you're seeing what you see, that you keep backing up, just lots of gold light, and just keep working it. You can also always imagine things as like gardens or mountain ranges or forests, or beaches, something that you can heal. So you can have your creative career as like a garden or, a mountain range or a forest, and just heal it, clear out what doesn't work in it, and just use lots of gold light. Maybe you get a sense of somebody else being in your garden, and it's your garden, so that shouldn't be, so you clear their energy out, So that's the idea, is there's your aura and chakras and everything, and that's really important. But then you can also think of like your spiritual path that you're walking forward on, and that could be blocked too. And so you kind of can look at that separately and take a look at that. And if the path thing is like not as clicking for you, then you can make it into a garden or something. So I hope that makes sense. So that's more of like, I hope that makes sense. It's like, that's how you move forward, is you get a sense of the way things are, like energy wise, like, cause you have the symptom that you're thinking, well, I don't feel like I'm making enough progress in my creative career, right? But you have to turn that into some kind of a energy reality that then you can change, right? So maybe you feel like you don't make enough progress, but when you look at your creative career path, yeah, you're like literally standing and then turning in circles again and again, So you clear the path, you make it gold, you heal yourself as you're on your path, and just like make it so that you see yourself walking forward, So I hope that makes sense. You take it from symptoms, like everyday symptoms, to an energy reality, and then you change that reality through healing it. All right. Someone says, yesterday I felt pessimistic / lonely. I tried every self-healing method I could think of, and it didn't help. I even made it worse and got a headache. What did I miss in my self-assessment? Okay. So I don't think you made it worse. I think someone was whacking the bejeebies out of you, and I think they kept whacking you, and so the more they whacked you, the worse it got. So you didn't actually make yourself worse. So you can give yourself a hug. You didn't make anything worse. But yeah, loneliness is an absence of heart chakra energy. Heart chakra is self-love, enthusiasm, joy, feeling good, right? And so when your fourth chakra is blocked or damaged and you don't have enough fourth chakra energy, you feel lonely. So, you might need to write that somewhere in your journal, loneliness is, is not enough fourth chakra energy, right? So then you heal your fourth chakra more, you heal your fourth layer more, you won't feel lonely. Like, factually, you will not. Yeah. You may still not have good friends, but you won't feel lonely about it. You'll just be like, yeah, that is weird. I don't have good friends. So, so the idea is you go through the basics, because a lot of times people they'll try one thing, but they won't, realize that they're missing half their roof or their house is on fire. So what's the half the roof missing, house on fire stuff? Check for aura repair, check for aura damage, in all your auras, your regular auras, but then you can check, do I have significant Wei Qi aura damage that's getting in the way? And the answer to all of that is yes. I mean, let me see my list. I don't remember. Yeah, so that's what it is. Okay, you have one person that just keeps whacking you, like even now, they're whacking you. So see, that's the thing where it's good to identify this stuff and then help them to chill out, because they're in the process of messing up a really nice healing that you just got this morning. But you're a really nice healer. Well, for you, it was the afternoon. But anyway, you know what I mean. So I say that's job number one, is just to help that person chill out and go on their way, and for those of you that don't know, you would learn how to do that with the video. If you search YouTube, Janet Wright, Resolve Conflict Boundary Issues 1. And for many people, they know who it is, like right away, be like, oh yeah, my sister screamed at me on our phone call last night, so I'm sure she's still pissed, But for some people, they'd be like, I have no idea who's doing it, and, but you don't have to know, you could just imagine an anonymous person and then go through the video and your angels help you to do it. And so you don't have to know, you just sort of create the healing flowers with the smart part of you that would know who it is. And then your angels double check it and they certainly know who it is. And that, so you can still help that person or leave you alone. So I would say that's job number one, is to help this person recenter so that they go away, because otherwise they're gonna just keep at it like some kind of psycho killer, just all day long, every day. So that's no fun. So yeah, that would be job number one. So I think that's what you missed. Headache too, that's sort of a ding, ding, ding. Headache is extreme damage if you have a headache usually. I mean, in Chinese medicine, a headache is like, energy blocks, a lack of flow creates pain in Chinese medicine, right? Flow is good. Blockages can create physical pain, physical soreness, physical pain, a headache. So, whenever you have stuff like that, definitely check to see if the roof on your house is still there. Do you need to repair your auras? So, and for you, and it's fun to do the repair all 17 of the auras at once. That's nice, I think, because too, your Wei Qi auras could use help too. So you just heal them all at once. But yeah, first get that person off your back, like literally, by helping them to center and go away and work with their angels, because otherwise, it's the thing. And then redo your buffer zones and fix your aura up. And then, yeah, it was just that the person had whacked you so much and so often that if you repaired your aura, they just got it again. And then they got, the damage got so deep that, that your fourth chakra and your fifth chakra both got damaged. And fourth chakra has to do with, self-love, enthusiasm, positivity. So when it gets damaged, you feel lonely and sort of like hopeless. And when your throat chakra gets damaged, you can like just have really distracted, weird thoughts. negative thoughts, So anyway, you got both of these damaged yesterday. So I think you just missed thinking about, well, who's doing the damage and do I need to do something to stop that situation? You can like look at a mini you and see, okay, well, do I have beings throwing energy at me? And if so, have your angels recycle them. And then do I have people throwing energy at me? And if so, just help them to, be like, it's okay, your angels can help you, go talk to your angels, and just so as part of your process, you want to look at, do you have people messing with you? So that's all. Someone says, I am having trouble accessing myself in regards to the extreme irritation with a prominent man who attends art events in our city. Oh, I'm having trouble assessing myself in regards to extreme irritation. So you're like, well, why am I so pissed at this guy? Yeah. So that's always interesting. You can, like sketch it out if you're not good at visualizing. Sometimes I used to use like a dry erase board, because you can like clear it off real easily. So, I would like make a circle for myself, a circle for someone else, and see, are there chords? Is there aura damage? Does that person throw energy? And so that's sort of the question is, there are two questions. I mean, extreme irritation that you have towards someone, they could actually be doing something to you, even if they don't know you consciously. Or you could just have past life baggage that gets triggered. But they could be courting you. They could court a lot of people, just randomly because they feel like they're superior and they're controlling and whatever. So they're trying to control, the community. And so he could be having a cord at the 7th chakra, at the heart chakra, all sorts of places, and that could be really pissing you off. So just draw a blob, or imagine, center yourself first, like do some kind of clearing little meditation that I have, any of them, and then just, imagine a blob for you and a blob for him, and just see, are there lines of light going in between? Is there thrown energy going in between? And then just, if he's, and then just see, well, is he doing it just to you or a whole bunch of people? So you can imagine other people and see, oh, nope, he does to everybody. Sometimes that's useful to know, so it's not some personal weird past life thing that you guys have. And then, just melt the cords from this person and then clear your triggers. So any kind of a clearing thing, but I think the cords is maybe what you're not noticing. So just imagine you and him and just imagine where the cords are. If that doesn't so much work for your brain, then you could write out, like say, maybe seeing the numbers, you could see where he's courting you. Is he courting you at the 7th? Is he courting you at the 6th? So you write 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just be like, is he courting me here? Yes. Is he courting me here? Yes. Is he courting me here? And just write out where he's courting you, and then just melt them one by one. So maybe that way helps your intuition better. But yeah, so in self-assessment, you want to look at, are you triggered? So you can clear your triggers. But then also, is there, other stuff actively going on between you and this person? Like thrown energy or cords, or both. Someone says, brain fog. Okay, so thank you. I hope that helped. Someone says, brain fog, ringing in ears, how can I heal this? Okay, so you're saying these are my symptoms. Okay, I have brain fog and I have ringing in my ears. How can I heal this? Okay, so the question is, okay, the foundational stuff first. Is that all taken care of? And so foundational stuff, if you haven't done any of it before, chances are it's not taken care of. So like aura repair, chakra repair, having a wide and flowing grounding, like as wide as your whole aura, all the way down to the core of the earth. Unless you do it consciously or like you live in a forest, it's probably not that way. So that could be stuff to work on. All that stuff would be towards the first half of any of the group healings that I do. So, I mean, that's true for you. Like you have major aura damage and you have significant chakra damage in all your chakras. I mean, you'll be fine. I'm not trying to, reel you into some expensive healing that I can sell you. You can repair all this for free with videos I have, like no problem. But I would say do all those basics first, because otherwise it's like, if you're missing half your roof and your house is on fire, trying to think about paintings on the wall. You got to get the big stuff taken care of first. So aura repair, grounding, wide grounding, flowing grounding, and chakra repair. So those three things, just work on that for a little bit, and then feel free to comment under a video that I have, or comment again in a Q&A. But then you could go from there. But chances are that's going to do a lot. Creative ring repair would be nice too. So 4 things then: aura repair, chakra repair, grounding, unblocking, and creative rings above your head. We didn't do creative rings in today's healing, so if you just search Janet Wright creative rings, there will be some choices. There's just 3 gold rings above your head, but you want to run gold light through them so they can repair. But first, do aura repair and grounding work, and then chakra repair. So I hope that helps. Someone says, happy Sunday, Janet. Thank you for streaming today. I feel off track, more irritable, and a little unmotivated today. Any advice? Need to get this train rolling again. LOL. Well, first of all, I should check what time it is. It's quite late. Let's see. I know I started this late, so I started at 12:35 roughly. So yeah. So I'm gonna need to end soon. I'm gonna just do a couple more, and that's it. Off track, irritable, unmotivated. Any advice? So as far as self-assessment, right? If you feel off track, irritable, and unmotivated, you did not get today's healing. So definitely check your basics, like aura damage, ding, 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 ding. Wide grounding, ding, 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 ding. I think you may have maybe done your grounding today, but right now it's not wide and flowing. Your grounding is narrow, and so it's not really working great. And then you do have aura damage. So maybe you didn't follow along in today's healing and heal yourself. So yeah, just the basics. And then you say, well, do I need chakra repair? Check all your basics. Aura damage. Yes, I have aura damage. I need to do that. Grounding, wide and flowing. No, I need to fix that. Chakra damage. No, you're fine with chakras, because your aura damage didn't get deep enough to damage your chakras yet. Okay, so that would help you get your train rolling. Aura repair and grounding work. Someone says, when I feel overwhelmed with work projects, stress, I usually shut down and not productive. I think this is avoidance fear that gets triggered, maybe 7 the first box. Is this self-assessment correct? Yes, I think it is, but context that for many people, when they shut down, they have aura damage as well. They have aura damage, and their grounding is really narrow. They may have chakra damage as well. However, you personally are pretty advanced, and you're pretty good at noticing when you need aura repair. So you're already saying, but I know my chakras are fine, my aura is fine, and my grounding is fine, but I'm still just feeling like I can't handle anything. Because obviously you would check that stuff first intuitively. You'd just be like, okay, or visually, just imagine or repair it for good measure. But I think with you, it is possible that you have all that stuff okay, and you still don't feel like doing any work, and you just like, "Ugh, work is just way too much for me." So, then there's a couple things. Your path, your spiritual path, right? That needs to be unblocked. So that is an area that could be, a bunch of junk dumped on it. But then junk and people's energy. But then also, how you say, well, there's seventh and first chakra blocks, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but, like you said, avoiding, if you're well, maybe you didn't say it. I think you did. You said avoidance. So think of, just you don't have to know where or what you're avoiding. Just put the energy blocks in front of you that you are avoiding and melt them. So this is what I'm avoiding, whatever it is, melt, melt, melt. This is what I'm really avoiding, whatever it is, melt, melt, melt. So I would just say, yeah, I think you're on track saying that it's avoidance. Just keep it simple and melt it away. And then also your spiritual path. That's another source of just like a total slowdown, like, oh, never mind. If your path gets too blocked, so just imagine your spiritual path and just big gold tidal wave forward, just clear everything off of it. You don't even have to see, just clear off your path and clear whatever you're avoiding. Clear the energy blocks. So, but yes, your self-assessment is correct. Someone says, hi, Janet. I think I made progress in self-assessment this week, but how are my daughters doing? You've made a lot of progress, by the way, this year. How are your daughters doing? I'm concerned they are not too receptive to doing self-healing. Thank you for your help. Yeah, I think this pandemic is interesting, because it's such, I mean, obviously it's also tragic because of all these people dying. So I don't mean to be callous about that, but now I'm going to disregard that all these people are dying and talk about it in a different way, which is that I mean, I think their expectations, your daughters, get stuck on their expectations of, I should be doing this. I should be in school, looking at the cute boy in science class, or I should be, able to go to a big party with lots of people, So, I should be able to go to, whatever club that I was in at school. So, I think their expectations, they're having trouble with their own expectations. So you could, I mean, you're pretty advanced as a self-healer. You could just work that with them. Like ground yourself, maybe do a tricolor soak, and check your aura, check your chakras a little, and then just be like, okay, well, here are my expectations I need to melt. And melt them. Always do yourself first, and then just imagine one of your daughters, and be like, hey, how about a quick healing? This will help you feel more positive. And then they'll probably say, all right, mom, sure, and then just make a pile, make a blanket out in front and say, dump your expectations out here, dump all the stuff that's bumming you out here, and then just melt it with them. So it's like you're doing a blanket exercise with them, but it's for their expectations, but yeah. So I think they could use a little bit of blanket exercise with you, maybe like at least twice a week, if you want. Just be quick. Say, angels, help me to do this. Because I know you're not doing it because you figure you're going to do it wrong, but you're not going to do it wrong. All right, so hope that helps. Someone says hi from Norway. Good to know where you are. Thank you so much. Thank you. I find it's easier to heal the energy body and not so easy to heal my physical body. How can I heal my tension in my mouth, belly, pelvis? My mouth and belly and pelvis. Well, I mean, walkthrough videos maybe help. I mean, I do have walkthrough videos. Not really so much the mouth, but the jaw and stuff. I have a research Janet Wright heal skull, probably. Janet Wright, heal skull. Janet Wright, heal bones. Janet Wright, heal, I know, pelvis. I do have a video that heals the pelvis, but I don't know if I put pelvis in it. Hips. Spine. Janet Wright. Heel bones might pull it up. Janet Wright. It's really this, the hip bones. Yeah, maybe heel hips. I don't know how I named it, but yeah, we're healing like the sacroiliac joints, the hips and everything. Heel sacrum. That might pull it up. Janet Wright, heel sacrum. For the sacrum bone. But anyway, yeah, that might help. For some people, you know, if you look at a diagram, that could help, you know, so just search diagram of the teeth, you know, maybe, and as you're looking at that, just heal your own teeth, you know. I have like a big skeleton, a model skeleton, and if I look at that, sometimes it helps me to think of what parts of my body I want to heal. But you could just look at a little diagram on the internet of like, you know, diagram, bones diagram or muscle diagram, and that might motivate you like, oh yeah, look at the muscles in the neck and the back, that's interesting, and then just have a copy out in front of you of your back muscles and heal them. So that might help, just to see little diagrams of them that you can easily Google. What guidance do you get on my healing process for my fiction writing? Am I missing something? Okay, so this is about self-assessment, and so that's the idea. You wouldn't. So yeah, so it's not about me and my guidance. You know, but you know, you can imagine your spiritual path just as it relates to your fiction writing, and then be like, okay, well, this is my spiritual path for my fiction writing, and just see, are you moving forward? See, you know, do you feel like something's pushing back on you? Are you dragging stuff? I mean, you know, how is your path nice and sunny and easy to walk on? You know, what's your path look like for making progress in your fiction writing? And you could do it that way. Someone says, ooh, I love the yes-no angel games. Fun. Yeah. Yeah, just get used to ask your angels things, you know, and make it easy and visual in a way that's fun and playful for you, you know, so you don't have to be like this world-class clairvoyant in order to, you know, get information from your angels. Thank you for your work. You're welcome. Thank you for the flower emojis. They're cute. Wondering what the best meditations are to help make progress in songwriting. I have so much to do at work that maybe right now I should focus on meditations for that. Thank you. Well, I mean, like I said to somebody else, you can look at, okay, well, here's the top priority stuff for me to work on. Here's the second priority stuff, because sometimes there's secondary issues that are just fun, that are good to work on anyway. And then there's time wasting, right? Stuff that is just, you really shouldn't be working on it, you know? And just see like, okay, well, work productivity, where's that on here? Or where's, you know, songwriting is right now for me? Is that, you know, top issue, nice secondary issue to work on, or distracting, time wasting for me right now? And just kind of see. And then, you know, you can imagine a path for you and just your songwriting, and see, what are you doing on your songwriting path? Are you blocked? Are you walking backwards? Are you overwhelmed and on a bench? Like, what are you doing? You know, and just kind of heal yourself and heal the path and see what that's like. You know, you can see if there's baggage in the way, you know, of you moving forward on your path. You know, you could do like blanket exercise, you know, and just put on the, you could search, for other people that don't know, if you search Janet Wright blanket exercise, it's a little 11-minute video. And it just helps you to clear energy blocks about any topic you want. So you just make a blanket out in front of you and dump on it any songwriting baggage that's in the way, and just blow it up or melt it away with gold light. So anyway, hope that helps. Everyone's so nice, and I appreciate all this stuff. I'm sorry I can't get to any more. I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin if I do more. We don't want that. So coming up later today, I will put up sessions for group healing sessions for January 2021 on my session payment page. They will probably sell out fast-ish to really fast, depending. So if you're on my news email list, I will email you right before they go up on the payment page. It'll be within the next few hours that they go up. If you're not on my news email list, but you want to be, just email me now and say, Janet, please put me on your news list. My email is just like this YouTube channel, janet@janetwrightreadings.com. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Bye. Oh, I should say though, the next healing I'm going to do is the first healing of the triplet set, which is Friday, December 4th. Is the first healing in the triplet set in December. And all that is on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. The pay for sessions here menu is under the sessions menu, pay here. It lists all the upcoming healings through March and the themes and everything. And you're always welcome to watch. Even if you haven't paid for one, you haven't, it's sold out, or you just can't afford even the lowest rate, you can still heal yourself as you watch. If you pay, then I'm healing you during the healing with everybody else. Okay, you're awesome. Congratulations for caring about your energy, and just, try to validate that you have intuition, even if you think you don't. You really, really do. And the more you heal yourself, the stronger your intuition gets. So good job, guys. Woo!